Hi! So obviously we're continuing with our Revolution match-by-match video. Let me know if you want me to do every match or just, the ones that are really, really meaty. So our first match of the night was the Bucks versus FTR for the AEW tag titles. Now, the entire build for this was excellent. It really was. I loved how... So when the match... the entrances... The Bucks come out with the kids and they had a little small vignette, and as soon as I seen that, I was like, yeah, the FTR are winning. I had a feeling FTR would win. I predicted them to win, but this just certified it to me. The match starts. I mean, I think personally, and I think this is quite a high bar too, this is the Bucks and FTR's best match against each other by a substantial margin too. I think the speed... I mean, everything about it. Yeah, the Bucks are... I won't say the Bucks are limited, but, the Bucks are known for having very similar matches. So when they have these standout performances, they just shock you tenfold. And bear in mind, that traditional Bucks match isn't a bad thing. The phenomenal matches, in my opinion, the greatest tag team of all time. And this is probably against the closest you're going to get with FTR. FTR... Jesus, I can never say enough good things about FTR. I think they're the funniest tag team ever. I think when you had with Stokely there too, I mean, and just how Dax and Cash are, specifically Cash, I don't know why, Cash makes me laugh a lot more. I just think that they're just funny pieces of shit and I love them. Obviously Stokely is there. Yeah, so the Bucks come out with the kids, like all the family and stuff, but it's mainly the kids. They come out with the entrance. And they're on the barrier. Dax is going then, pointing at them, shouting at them. Cash gives them a little scare, shit like that. Obviously, the rest of the Bucks' family are there. Now, what I love about this match is, yeah, like I said, the Bucks don't have the most varied in terms of not moveset, but in the sense of, you know what you're gonna get from the Bucks, and that's not a bad thing. It's just how they are. But then FTR, I mean, it's hard to have these matches. I feel like because they're both very different in terms of how they are as tag team. That's why I think this match is excellent, because they just go, fuck it, let's just go wild with it. And I love it. I think if you said this to me was your match of the night, I wouldn't really disagree. I don't know if it's mine, but it's so fucking good. And the way it opened, the crowd were into it. What I love is there's a point where so they take Nick Jackson out by throwing him behind the timekeeper's table, essentially. And he comes out, and this is early on, and it's a nasty blade job, bro. Nasty, like, he's covered in it, and he just doesn't... It's thick, it's a decent... You can see the scar on the blade job. It's nuts. I love it. Obviously, FTR hits a lot of paradigm shifts. Not paradigm shifts. Yeah, it's a paradigm shift. I forget. Then you got obviously, a lot of super kicks from the Bucks and FTR. A lot of taunting in the sense of, the Bucks doing the Bucks doing their paradigm shift, and then you've also got FTR doing the FTR trigger, stuff like that. That's the thing, but it's the speed, it's the quantity, it's everything. What I think was quite mad about this match was, a lot of time with the Bucks, their matches is Matt Jackson does a lot of the work, and Nick Jackson's the hot tag guy. I've always said it, Nick Jackson hot tag is the best wrestler in the world. This kind of is the inverse, and again, Nick Jackson is the best wrestler in the world. I fucking love Nick Jackson. He's just, again, it's just the resilience, the kick-outs. Bro, I think they hit them with a true paradigm shift, or it might even be the FTR trigger, and Nick Jackson kicks out at one, he's screaming. Oh my god, it's phenomenal. I love it. They try and do a bit of a Brian All-In 24 thing, where it's obviously the kids are there, so there's a point where Matt Jackson's out, because Nick Jackson's basically taken out with the blood. And then one of the kids goes up, heads to head to him, and goes, go in there and get them, And Matt Jackson's like, yeah, fired up. And he just tries to take FTR. I love how FTR are. I love FTR's character work. I think honestly, they're the fun. I love the Bucks. I love broke Bucks, everything about them. The Impact the Bucks, I don't know why. I think I prefer FTR just as characters. I think FTR are one of my favourite acts in all of AEW, especially at the minute. And that's not even including Stokely. Stokely's facial expressions in the match were oh my god, that man's hilarious. And then, what I love is, they're just pieces of shit. What I do like is, there's a point where, so it's about Matt Jackson. He gets back in the ring. I think it's after he does the thing with his son. And then he's waiting to get Cash, and Dax is outside the ring, but he doesn't see him. And Dax waits for Matt to go for it, and then drags the leg down. And I'm like, to me, that was reminiscent of when the Bucks cost Hangman a few years ago, early AEW lore. And I don't know if that's intentional or not. It feels like there is a lot of callbacks. That I really loved. I just don't like. There's something. The crowd does help it. Don't get me wrong. It's the speed of it. The match is not even 20 minutes, and it's fun. It's so good. The crowd are up for it. The resilience. The kickouts are great. Like, I love the kickouts of again, the kickouts at one way, and then it's Nick Jackson screaming. Like, even with the expressions from all four of them when they're like getting kicked out, the point where Stokely tries to intervene to stop Matt Jackson by standing up and grabbing a leg and sitting back in the chair going, "Hey, I'm in the wheelchair." That was great. And then the point where Nick Jackson goes out to dive, then Matt Jackson goes out to dive just to take Stokely out. I love that. Again, Dax and Cash. I mean, I think personally they're probably. I don't know if they've got better chemistry from the books. This is the thing with them. I think if you compare both tag teams, which is valid, they are different, but it's more the sense of, I don't know, I think FTR are just, there's something there. I don't know how to describe it. They're very traditional. Not that the books aren't, but the books are two of the same, which is good. But obviously from a very basic point of view. But then Dax and Cash just complement each other. It's like they're so good. Like the dives Cash does specifically. It's there's a point where they're going out and they dive outside the ring in front of the kids. There's a point where I think they've got Matt by the head, and Dax just shouts at them, "That's your dad! That's your dad!" You know what I mean? There's a bunch of shit like that, pushing into steps. Again, the super kicks. It is a super kick party, ironically. It's a great match. It really is. There's not much really in depth you can go for. The dives, I mean, everyone knows the dives. I love the move where the Bucks do the where like they swing on the ropes and then the legs are up like that, and then the other Buck goes in and dives. I love that. It's just simple. I just think this match was pure. It was electric. It was. I don't think that's wild to say. It's in the sense of it was just rapid. There was no real downtime. It was just non-stop boom, 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 boom. So it felt genuinely fun. It felt like it just felt very snappy. It was very snappy. It just felt very just quick, very effective. And like I said, if you said this was your match of the night, I wouldn't really disagree. It's fucking phenomenal. The crowd were probably the most up for it out of all the matches besides the Texas stuff at the end. But it's a phenomenal opener. I had no idea they'd do this as the opener, and honestly, I think it was the best call they made all night. I really do. FTR do get the win through the Shatter Machine, not the Paradigm Shift, the fucking Shatter Machine, sorry. They do a few Shatter Machines, but that's the main one. Dax getting the pin. They celebrate. The Bucks are out of it. Like it feels like the room is very gut punch because the Bucks get over. They want the Bucks to win because the FTR are just pieces of shit. And then the lights go out, and obviously the main conversation point is, it comes up on a screen where it says even, then avenge, and then revenge, rated R. You think you know him. Edge, well, Cope and Christian are back. Cope's there, does the full entrance, then the pop Christian, the Adam Copeland pop, great. The pop Christian gets, Jesus, it's bigger than the Cope pop 100%, and in the best way possible. Fuck yeah. Like, I've missed Christian so much. I feel like I've missed Christian more than I've missed Cope. And that's saying something. I love Christian. Christian's one of my favourites. And then, as it just goes I just love the Christian pop. And then they're waiting for him because Stokely's in the ring. And then Christian goes up, sneaks behind him, taps Dax, sprays Dax with the pepper spray. Then does a hit to kill switch on Cash or the other way around. Then it's Stokely and it's Copeland and Christian staring at him. And then Stokely's funny as hell, bro, because the crowd's screaming, "You fucked up!" And then he's looking panicking, and then he just go back to the crowd, "I did not fuck up." And then he goes to grab Christian's hand, like he's putting the handshake out to show, hey, there's no beef. And he grabs Christian's hand to shake his own. It was great. And then they just hit him with the kill switch. That was great. And then Copeland, they both grab the tag belts. And they're going, "This is what hurt you, huh?" And they're outside the ring. And then what I fucking loved, they didn't need to do this, and I loved it. They had the Bucks walk behind them, and then they have a stare off. Very generational interaction. I love that. And then basically, they're probably going to do the Bucks versus Cope and Christian at. I feel like they're going to do that at Dynasty. Makes sense. But then, And that's how it ends. They put the belts back on the ramp, on the mat. The mat's bloody as hell from that Nick Jackson blade job alone, by the way. And that's it. Cope and Christian are back in AEW. Hell yeah. And the match, the main thing, was phenomenal. It probably was match of the night for most people. And it, not denying it, it's phenomenal. It's such an effective tag match. Again, it's definitely the Bucks and FTR's best match against each other. It's an excellent way to open up a stellar pay-per-view. And just honestly, it's probably the tag match of the year so far. And that might be ignorant. I don't give a fuck, bro. I couldn't think of a better tag match. I can't think of a better tag match I've seen, admittedly, probably since, I'd say, Brodido versus FTR versus, or just those two versus each other in Cardiff last year. I think that was, or Glasgow. I feel like that's the best tag match I saw after I was going to say after Ospreay Swerve versus Bucks. That was great, but I feel like Brodido versus FTR was excellent too. So, you know, since then, I can't think of a better tag match I've seen since then. If you think of one, let me know. But point is, it's a great way to start, great way to open, and it's just a phenomenal fucking match. Oh, what a match. What a way to open. And genuinely, the Bucks and FTR, undoubtedly two of the greatest tag teams of all time. And getting Christian and Adam Copeland back is a very, very lovely way to end that. I loved how they started off the show. Really sets the precedent for a stellar pay-per-view, and that's a very good sign. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the first match of the night. Let me know what you want me to talk about. Do you want me to talk about the other matches, all of them, or just the main matches, what you think? So let me know. Let me know what you thought of this match. Was it your match of the night? And yeah, just let me know what you thought of the show if you haven't.